but in the pre-dawn light, the enemy kept coming. Åsa's stomach tightened. "Shields," said Borg. Åsa took comfort in the old warrior's calm tone. He had survived 100 shield walls. To him, this was just one more. She set aside her bow and unslung the round shield of linden rimmed with iron. Taking hold of the grip, she raised the shield, overlapping it with Ulf's to her left. On her right, Alvir chalked his into place behind hers. Wood clacked on wood as the shield wall rattled down the ranks. The attackers did not halt their march to return fire. Åsa drew lightning, her short sword, better for the close work of the shield wall than her long sword, Gudrod's bane. Behind the shield wall, Hade's sorceresses raised a chant, and the raiders seemed to falter at the eerie sound. Their commander turned on them, bawling a threat, and they picked up their pace. In the growing light, Åsa counted at least 30 men. Her own force numbered just shy of 50, but of them less than a dozen could be called seasoned warriors. Most of them were a little too seasoned. The attackers closed the distance. None wore armor. Their shields were battered, some rimless with ragged edges. The rank and file carried spears. Few had swords, and of what quality Åsa could not tell. Desperate men. Halting just out of spear range, the marauders screamed vivid threats, designed to paralyze them with fear. Åsa hardened her face to hide the anxiety that seared her innards. Tromy's defenders held the high ground, forcing the attackers to advance uphill or stand there all day. A young warrior strode forward from the enemy ranks, shaking his spear. "Come and fight me, you white-livered cowards!" he screamed. Ulf cut the youth's rant short by heaving a spear into his throat. The boy dropped to his knees, clawing at the shaft, as blood gushed from the wound. A tall, helmeted man stepped over the body. "Surrender, and we will kill you quickly, with your swords in hand," he demanded. This generous offer ensured that Tromy's warriors would die fighting, and therefore be eligible to join Odin and Freya in the halls of the slain. "Throw down your arms, and we will let you depart with your balls still swinging between your legs," countered Jarl Borg. Tromy's warriors jeered. Despite the dawn chill, Åsa was beginning to sweat. How long before they discovered that her warriors were mostly untrained women and old men dressed up in armor and closed helmets? "Send us your women," the enemy leader demanded. "We'll let you weaklings go free." Åsa saw Jarl Borg's whiskers twitch beneath his helm. "Very well," he said, and gave the signal. Every warrior cocked their spear and waited. Hade led her apprentices forward to gather behind the shield wall. Their iron distaffs held high, they keened a chant that raised the hair on Åsa's neck. The attackers shifted nervously in their ranks as the chant rose to a howl. Sweat ran down Åsa's face. If this didn't work, they were finished. "Charge!" shouted Jarl Borg. Åsa and the other warriors leveled their spears and stormed down on the enemy. Iron distaffs outthrust, Hade's acolytes strode behind them. Hair flying and eyes ablaze, they shrieked a spell that struck a chill even in Åsa's heart. The raiders quailed, mouths agape. Faced with sorcery and spearheads, they turned tail and ran. Roaring, the Tromy folk pursued them down to the shore and fired arrows on the enemy as they dragged their boat into the sea. 2 raiders fell into the boat as they boarded, arrows protruding from their backs. The survivors took to their oars with vigor and rowed away. "Not much of a raid," said Alvir, accepting the horn. He drank and handed it back to Brenna, who carried it to Jarl Borg. The old Jarl hunched over the tafelboard across from Åsa. The gridded square of wood and the gaming pieces carved of polished antler were her father's set, on which Åsa and her brother had learned the game of strategy. Åsa had recovered it from the loot at Boa.